We're getting right into the power rankings for week 11. And yeah, well, I hope I am right. I don't want to be your enemy. I want to be your friend.
Kenny, let him know to subscribe, man.
Hey, yeah, guys, if you're finding this entertaining or enjoyable at all, I mean, I see you guys watching. There's at least 20 or more of you watching right now. And if you're in here, just go ahead and look. If this just popped up because it's in your algorithm, do us a favor. Make sure it's always in your algorithm. The way you do that is by subscribing. Put a little thumbs up on the video, comment on it. Definitely appreciate you guys for doing that. All right. So, Steve, let's get into this power rankings. Man, this is crazy.
What do you got for 16? Because I think it's pretty obvious who you have to go at 16. You have to go Oklahoma State last. I mean, they're the only team that hasn't won a conference game at this point. Their defense is complete garbage. I mean, their coach is calling out the fans when their team stinks. I got to go Oklahoma State 16, man.
Yep, same.
Here's where it gets interesting. I feel like 13 through 15 is pretty interchangeable. I really do. So I'm going to go, this is going to be weird, man. I'm going to go Utah number 15, and then I'm going to go Arizona 14 and KU 13. Even though KU is 2-6, I feel like they have the best chance of those three teams to finish with a better record. We just picked them in our main podcast to upset Iowa State. I think Utah's offense is awful. I think Arizona is a terrible team right now. And I just feel like KU among those teams is probably the best team. So I know I just jumped a gun and, went a couple here. So what do you got?
Look, I know that Arizona beat Utah, but it was a little bit earlier in the season. I think Arizona has gotten progressively worse as the season has gone on. I think Arizona's 15, Utah's 14. And I'm going to throw UCF at 13. I know they just won big, but they won big against Arizona. And so I'm throwing UCF there. And no. Sorry. It's Arizona, Utah, UCF. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm actually going to do something crazy here. I'm going to move KU up one more spot, and I'm going to put Houston behind them because they beat them by 4 touchdowns. But I am going to put TCU ahead of KU because they won at KU earlier this season. I still don't think TCU is very good. And then I'm going to go UCF right ahead of them. I know I'm jumping a gun. I'm doing a bunch of these in a row. I'm trying to do transitive property here with the teams that beat who. UCF won at TCU. TCU won at KU. KU beat Houston. Arizona beat Utah. Utah beat Oklahoma State. So that's kind of what I'm doing here with my power rankings.
Right. I see what you're saying. Well, the thing for me is Houston's win over K-State more impressive than KU's win over Houston. That's what I'm kind of juggling right now. And maybe I'm just biased because we beat KU and Houston was able to beat us. So that's kind of like transitive property if you want to think about that. So I'll say KU, Houston, let's see, KU, Houston, and I'll go TCU. I'll go TCU.
Even though KU beat Houston, you're going to have Houston ahead of them, huh?
Yeah, I just think Houston currently right now, if this was a week ago, I think Houston is obviously figuring something out.
I still don't think Houston's very good. I don't even think they played very well against K-State. I think K-State beat themselves.
This might change. This might change in 2 weeks when they come back. So we'll see.
Yep. Number 9, the Gatekeepers.
Got to be. You already know, man. You already know.
You got to be West Virginia there, dude, right?
West Virginia, of course. Yeah.
Okay. This top 8 is where things get actually 5-8 is really where things get interesting here. Because I
Mhm.
really feel like, honestly, 5-8 is actually pretty good football teams. I mean, I think any of those teams, I mean, outside of maybe one, feels like they can probably, compete or win the Big 12. So I think Baylor is playing pretty good football right now. They've moved up quite a bit in my rankings and my
Baylor for me.
thoughts.
Yep. Same.
So I got to go 8 for Baylor, man.
I got Baylor at 8. I've got Cincinnati at 7. Yeah, I just think those are really solid places to put them. Baylor, man, they have really redeemed their horrendous start, and they're really starting to make a comeback in the. Oh wow, that's kind of low, I think, but.
Cincinnati beat Arizona State. I understand Arizona State didn't have their quarterback in that game, but I mean the results matter. And as I said earlier in this, I'm trying to do it based off of who beat who, right? And so Cincinnati did beat Arizona State. It was a home game for Cincinnati. Like I said, 5-8 are also really good football teams, and this could change throughout the season. But right now, I do have Arizona State 7th and Cincinnati 6th because of the transitive property. Who beat who?
Right. So yeah, they did lose. They were a home game. Cincinnati had them at home, and I just think Arizona's wins are just a little bit more impressive to me. And maybe it's just because Cincinnati is flying under the radar, and Arizona State, was projected to be the worst team in the conference, and they're doing like big things. So maybe that's where my rankings are coming from with them, like why I'm giving them so much more credit. I know that there's even some people out there. I think Brian Hanley even put them at like number 4 in his power rankings, which is pretty wild. I understand they're a fun team. It's exciting to see. And Scadaboo had a massive game this last weekend.
He did, but Oklahoma State sucks.
Yeah, but I'm going to put them at 6. I can't put them any higher than that, but I just think I don't know. I think they're a fun team, and I love to see their success. So yeah.
I think our top 5 is probably going to be the same. I really do. I think right now, and this will probably change because we both picked Texas Tech to beat Colorado. Right now, I got Texas Tech number 5. I mean, they just won at Iowa State. They're 6-3 overall, 4-2 in the Big 12. They're thinking they have a chance to go to Arlington. Their defense is playing so much better after giving up 59 to Baylor. Their offense has been stellar all year. I think anything out of their defense, they're probably pretty happy. I got them number 5, but after this next weekend, like I said, I got them beating Colorado. I'll move them up to number 4 after they win. So what do you got for number 5?
I got K-State at number 5.
No way, dude.
The loss against Houston is just horrible, dude. It doesn't give me confidence anymore, man. Like I'm not gonna look. The 2 teams that I have ahead of them are the 2 teams that they're playing in the next 2 weeks when they come back off their bye week.
Okay.
I feel like they're better than those 2 teams. I'll pick them to win those 2 teams, especially since they're in Manhattan. So I think K-State will beat those 2 teams, but I can't confidently say that they are any higher than 5. And that's it.
I don't agree. I don't agree. But I mean, I've been kind of really doing this based off of who beat who. Texas Tech beat Cincinnati. Cincinnati beat Arizona State. Like I said earlier, UCF beat TCU. TCU beat KU. KU beat Houston. All of that. I got to go Colorado number 4. K-State won at Colorado earlier this year. Now I know Colorado is probably playing better football right now than K-State, but I'm still gonna have K-State number 3. And after Colorado loses this week, K-State's back in the driver's seat to go to Arlington. I still think K-State's a better team. They won in Boulder for a reason, man. They're a better football team. I really do. I understand you're upset right now. I mean, I'm upset too. I am. Having said that, K-State is still no worse than 3rd right now in the Big 12. No way for me.
Yeah, but Colorado didn't lose to Houston, though. That's it. Like to me, that's what's so alarming to me, Steve. Is
I agree.
Colorado doesn't have a stint like that. They lost. Their only conference loss was to us. We
And that's why
lost
I have him
to
number 4.
Houston.
And that's why I have him number 4 instead of 3.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'll say this. 4, I've got Texas Tech.
I figured you're going to go there and you're going to have Colorado 3.
No, I have Iowa State 3. I have Colorado 2, man.
Hold on. Why do you have Iowa State 3 when Texas Tech just beat them?
Iowa State is 3 because of record, mainly because of record.
I was going to say, because Texas Tech literally just beat them.
I know. Well, the same goes for you. You have them 5th, and they just beat Iowa State, and Iowa State's higher. But it's because of record, and you can't ignore the other games that they played. They were undefeated, for the majority of this season. But again, this week showed a lot. I had Iowa State on fraud alert. And I don't know. We'll see what happens.
On fraud alert now.
And now exactly, K-State is on fraud alert. I can't confidently say that they're going to win by multiple scores. It's Cats by 1, Cats by 2. It's not Cats by a million anymore. So 2 is Colorado, and BYU is number 1 for me.
I mean, I think hands down BYU is obviously number 1 everywhere. They're undefeated. I still think Iowa State right now is the second best team. I mean, they're the only team in the conference with 1 loss, by 1 point at home. They gave up the lead with less than a minute left in the game. It was back and forth the whole game. I still think Iowa State's pretty good. I'll probably still pick them to beat K-State. I guess, like you said, 2025 is the year of K-State. I was really hoping it'd be this year. But BYU looks to be the class of the conference, man. I got them winning the Holy War at Utah by 3 scores. I mean, Retzloff is pretty good. Their defense is pretty good. They're the class of the conference right now, man. They really are. That's why they're number 1.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and their season, they've proved everybody wrong. I'm happy to see it. And again, if K-State would have, I always said that K-State's season is 2025. Mainly because I thought this season they're going to be in a lot of close games against really good teams. Like I thought we would, if we lost to Oklahoma State, if they had an actually good season, I'm like, okay, Oklahoma State, they're projected to be the conference champions, whatever. Right. Utah, conference champion. Like I figured all those teams would be good, but because those teams fell apart, I'm like, oh, maybe K-State actually has a chance. Maybe they actually have a chance this season to make the Big 12 conference championship and win. But when you go and you lose to Houston against the worst scoring offense in the entire country, not just the Big 12, the entire country, that is a problem.
It's alarming.
I can't put you any high. I want K-State to prove me wrong.
I just can't confidently say Colorado's the second best team in the conference just because they didn't play this past weekend. I can't move them up to 2 because they didn't play. I mean, that doesn't seem fair when K-State still won at Colorado. That game happened. It still happened. And I know K-State just lost this past weekend. I get it. Like I said, that's the first time K-State had given up a 2-score lead in the fourth quarter since 2018. I get all that. I still think K-State's a better team. But BYU is the best team in this conference. I mean, they proved it. Yep. They beat the crap out of K-State. They're undefeated. They'll probably go 12-0. So maybe they'll go 11-1. Who knows?
Well, Steve, that's our power rankings for week 11.